Let's have some tax conversation on the show with some 20 minutes after 8. My guest seated, Wisdom Heto is Chief Revenue Officer with the Ghana Revenue Authority, the GRA, and Joseph Asare is Head of Audits with the Osu Medium Tax Office. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the whole national exercise that's been ongoing to whip up get some enthusiasm in the system, get people to be paying their taxes. How is that going?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to your cherished viewers. To start with, on behalf of Commissioner General and the management, as well as the entire GRA family, we want to commiserate with you this morning on the loss of your staff, Kaba, which happened last Saturday. We mourn with you, and we hope that you rise above it, even as you go above your duties.
Thank you.
Yeah, this campaign was launched on the 1st of November, and it couldn't have come at any other better time than this, because recalling the president's inaugural speech, he indicated that we should not sit on the fence, but we should rise up and be active citizens. We should get ourselves involved. It is about time that we own Ghana. And by doing that, we have to rise up to our responsibilities by paying our taxes correctly. And that's the only way we can get this country to where we want it to go. So this task was launched, campaign was launched 1st November, and we actually are adopting two main approaches: carrot and the stick approach.
Carrots and the stick approach.
Yeah. So now we're trying to talk to our general tax-paying public to come in, comply voluntarily, to honor their tax obligations. Those who have not registered are doing business, they have not registered to pay their taxes. They should come in willingly to register. Go to any of our tax offices and register. They'll be assisted. Then after this, we are going to go after those who are supposed to register or qualified to register but are refusing to register. And even those who have registered but have some liabilities on their books, which they are supposed to honor but are not doing it, we are entreating them to do that now, because very soon we're going to come at their back, and we hope that we don't get there.
Ms. Asare, so I want to register my business. How do I even begin that process?
Yeah, thank you. The registration process begins with having a TIN, the taxpayer identification number. Now, once you have that TIN, it qualifies you to get registered with the Registrar General. And once that is done, you have the registration documents. You can now proceed to the Ghana Revenue Office and get yourself registered.
How do I get a TIN?
But if you are a body of person, a body corporate, you need, in addition to the TIN, you need certificate of incorporation, a certificate to commence business.
Okay.
Now, with these documents, you just walk to any GRA office and then you get yourself registered.
I asked a question about how do I even get the TIN in the first place? How do I get the TIN number? I remember some businesses withholding from payments due me, and me getting subsequently some text message from the GRA and giving me a certain TIN number. I'm not sure, but it's not a number I can readily recall. Is that what we call the TIN?
Yeah, the TIN is a conscious exercise that you undertake by applying for it.
Oh, okay.
So, where an organization which has the data of its employees could do it on behalf of its employees. But otherwise, it's a conscious exercise that you need to undertake.
Okay.
So there are three ways that the TIN can be procured. You can do it online by going to the GRA website. You download the form, you complete it, and then you submit it. Attach a scanned copy of a valid ID card. the valid ID card that we use now are the driver's license, which is not expired, a passport, which is also not expired, and then we have the voter ID and then the national ID. You scan it and then you attach other documents, if it is a body of person, to the info@gra.com, attach it to the form, and then within 48 hours, you get an SMS that your thing is completed, and so your certificate will be issued to you.
Okay.
That's the first option. The second option is to walk to a GRA office, get the form, they will help you complete it. You attach the same valid ID to it, and after 48 hours, you also get an SMS alert that your certificate is ready.
Okay.
You can pick it.
Okay.
And the last but not the least is to walk to Registrar General's department. And then when you get there, we have some GRA accredited officers there who will also walk you through the process. And once you get the valid ID, which of course you must go with the original plus a photocopy. And then once they verify and then process it, you also get a tin. So these are the 3 ways that a tin can be gotten.
Okay, I see that you want to add something to this,
Yeah,
but I wanted to ask a question before. Does it mean that all workers have tin? All people who are working, who at least get their taxes taken from source, from their salaries to the GRA?
Yeah, they all have. You recall that there was a directive that by close of last year, December last year, all workers who have not been registered with a TIN will not have their salaries paid through. So they are actually supposed to be registered.
Okay, at least that's for public workers.
Yeah, that's right. But for private, yes, they are also supposed to register, because for you to be qualified to even apply for government contract, you should be TIN registered. Yeah, for you to have tax clearance certificate, to be able to clear your goods from the port, you should register with the TIN.
Okay.
And also to register your land, you should have the TIN.
Oh, to register your land, you should have the TIN?
Yes. Otherwise, you can't even have a tax clearance certificate, which is one of the components or the requirements of registering your land.
Yes. So if you want to sue at the court, yes, you need a TIN. You want to open a bank account, you need a TIN. So the TIN
that's new.
It's not new.
No, because I've seen a lot of accounts being opened without a TIN.
That is why we are educating.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they are giving moratorium, but as he said, the time will come.
It should be a strict requirement.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the TIN has come to stay, and so we are using this medium to educate the general public, especially those in the informal sector who are not yet on our roll, to get registered and have the TIN, to be able to enable them to be able to transact businesses freely in the country.
Okay. So
I'd like to add that, we earlier had some TIN, a 10-digit TIN, that has been phased out. We are now doing a new one, which is a 11-digit TIN. Okay. So if you have the old one, please, you are enjoined to go to any of our offices and re-register. Otherwise, that one is no more.
How do I know that if I'm not sure if I have or not? Is there a way of checking?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The individual TIN starts with P.
Okay.
And then the corporate TIN starts with C.
Okay.
Others start with V. Now the issue is that the old one hasn't got that preface. So this one starts with P, C, V with 000, depending on the type of business or entity that is registered. And it's an 11-digit TIN.
Okay. Does this come with any benefits?
Benefit as in, the benefits are those things you can't do when you have TIN. Like you can register your document, you can obtain tax clearance certificate, you can clear goods, as he mentioned. So without the TIN, you may not be able to even receive payment from any government institution.
Okay. So what if I can't go online and do these processes myself? Can I enter any of your offices and expect that I will be assisted
Exactly.
to do this?
So. Yes. You can do that.
And
any of our
free.
offices. You can even go to the Registrar General's department. We have our offices there. So as soon as you finish registering your company, then you can also register for the TIN. So all of our offices, you can enter.
So when you have all these documents intact, going forward, what are you expected to do? Is it something that is renewable every year, for instance?
Is it the TIN or?
Once you get the TIN, you said something about registering,
yes,
and getting all the documents. What do you do with it?
Yeah, when you want to register a business, you've gone through the Registrar General, you've come to our office to complete the necessary forms. You also have to complete registration of business and get a certificate for that, which is a one-time payment. And depending on the type of business, the maximum fee you will pay for the registration certificate is 10 Ghana cedis. And then the registration certificate is a one-time payment, which you have to display conspicuously in your business premises. Okay. It is not renewable.
Okay. So I guess this call is to those who don't have it at all.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for those who don't have it at all, and those who have the old one, also to come and register the new one.
And in knowing the old one, that's the 10 digits number you're saying. So if the numbers you have is 10, then that's old. You have to go and change it. Can you go online and then change it to get an 11 digits, or you have to physically go to the office too?
You can go online and get to GRA website.
Please give us the
www.gr.gov.gh. I say it again, www.gr.gov.gh.
Okay.
You go there and you can easily apply.
Before we wrap up, why is it important for us to do this?
Well, it is a unique identification number which is assigned or issued to every or each taxpayer. So it's not transferable. So you identify with that tax number for all transactions. That's why it's very important for us to have it.
And I said just before we go, but how often do I have to file my tax returns?
Yeah, tax returns, we have different kinds, but basically monthly. You know, the tax periods differ. For instance, VAT, for instance, the last working day in every month, then you file your tax return and make payment as such. With respect to the PAYE and the withholding tax, you file by 15th of the following month. Then with the CST, by 21st of the month following, you file your return. So it's a monthly thing.
How do I keep up? Is there a way that the GRA would send reminders in the form of a text or something like that? Have we gotten there yet?
Yeah.
So that people can keep up paying their taxes?
Yeah. When you get to the check from the newsprint, before the 15th of every month, withholdings payments are supposed to be on or 15th of the month.
Okay.
There's always a reminder. Self-assessment payments are also always reminded that its time is getting due at the end of every quarter. Taxpayers are constantly reminded. VAT, they are constantly reminded.
Okay.
Now, with this program, this national campaign that we are embarking on, it comes as a package, and all those things you mentioned about SMS, jingles, etc., are all part of the package.
Okay. Okay. Now, this one is personal. If a company keeps taking withholding, I know that you're supposed to get a withholding certificates. Yes. Where do you go for it? Is it the company that's taking the withholding tax automatically from what they're supposed to pay you, or you can directly go to the GRA?
Yeah, the person, that is the company that withheld from you, is supposed to return the payment to GRA.
Okay.
Obtain a receipt for having paid that amount. And then in addition to that receipt, a subsidiary certificate will be issued to the beneficiaries of the payment.
Okay.
So it is the person who took your money, who withheld, who has been satisfied as having paid, that will be issued with the certificate, and then you go to that taxpayer for the receipt for it.
All right. Okay. Any other thing you want to add to the conversation?
We want to appeal to corporate bodies that they assess themselves for the year and they can revise it before the end of the year. The year is getting to the end. We are urging them to revise their self-assessment estimates, and any liabilities that are there on you, you need to make good those liabilities.
Okay.
And those who have outstanding debts, we are also appealing to them to also honor their obligations.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you also want to appeal to the general public, tax-paying public, that they should come alive with their tax payment. We are appealing to the professional bodies like Bar Association, Chartered Institute of Accountants, engineers, architects, even the journalists, that they should begin to drum home the message that there's need for us to pay our taxes, because that's the only way we can have our country developed. Without taxes, we cannot develop.
Okay.
That's why we have our hashtag as our taxes, our future.
Okay, so I take it that GRA workers are paying. You guys are filing your returns and everything.
Yes.
Okay, because you should start from home.
Yes.
The GRA, the Ministry of Finance, like all the associates bodies should be doing this so that we can copy rightly from you.
Yes. And we believe that the media people are also doing the same.
Yes.
So that they can be confident and
I like the focus now. Thank you so much for coming through. My guest, Joseph Asare, is Head of Audits with the Osu Medium Tax Office, and Wisdom Heto is Chief Revenue Officer with the Ghana Revenue Authority. Call it time with the GRA and you won't be wrong. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming through.